Hello, this is Beverly from scrapandthread.blogspot.com. Today I wanted to show you how to do embossed two-step stamping. I'm using a close to my heart stamp set called So Grateful. And regular two-step stamping is when you use two colors or even two shades of the same color in the same family, and you use stamps that are coordinated to go together, or you can make up your own coordinations depending on what stamp sets you have. But I'm using one that this is specifically what this is for. However, you don't need to use them together. You can certainly use them separately. So the way that normal two-step stamping works is that you use the more solid color. Usually it's lighter, but not always. And then you put something on top of it. So in this case, the bottom layer, the solid pumpkin, was the Sunset ink from Close to My Heart, and it was second generational stamping, which means I stamped off the ink onto a piece of scratch paper and then stamped it. And then I used the lettering with the Autumn Terracotta. Now this is the same coloring, but not with the second generation stamping for the base. So you can see the difference there in the color of the inks. These are not embossed, these are just the regular dye-based Close to My Heart inks, and so they're a kind of a matte finish. And this is Colonial White cardstock. So I'm going to show you how to do this one. And this was embossed with clear embossing powder, and these leaves were not embossed. So you can see the difference between the shininess and the more matte finish for the ones that are not embossed. So let me show you how that works, and then I'm going to show you a little bonus thing too that you can also do with this stamp set, or any stamp set really. And once again, I'm using the Colonial White cardstock. I'm going to use the Autumn Terracotta ink for the base, which is the pumpkin. Now this is a dye-based ink, but if you put clear embossing powder on it while it's still wet, you can emboss it. Typically though, you emboss with either embossing ink, pigment ink, or a watermark ink. Any of those will work. So you make a nice impression on your paper. And then I'm going to use, Close to My Heart just recently came out with some pigment inks. They come in a tower, and this happens to be the Neutrals tower. I'm going to use the black, which was on top, and that's what I'm using for the letters. With this technique, as I said, sometimes you use the same color family, and in this case I'm using a totally different color, and but I think the result is pretty nice. Now my head is not straight over this stamp, so I'm hoping that this will be lined up pretty well, and I think it will be. Alright, and then I'm also going to show you this other variation for the other pumpkins that were on here, and that was, clean off my stamp real quick here. That was just by taking the Versamark watermark stamp pad and stamping the pumpkin shape. So it's not going to really show up on here. You'll have to trust me, it's there. And now I'll put the clear embossing powder on all of that. Now, if you have been to the market where they have the white pumpkins, this is sort of what this looks like. And what I did with the ones in the card and also with these is I ran some ink over it, and I'll show you that in a moment. But if you wanted to have the lettering on there, then you could also do that. That's what this one is. And then I had stamped it originally with the Autumn Terracotta with the words, and then I stamped the Versamark with the solid pumpkin over it. And after I did that with these pumpkins, I ran the ink over it direct to paper to make it fill in a little bit better, and I think it gives it kind of a cool look. So I'm going to show you how to make this one real quick. Oh, and this is just another embossed one with autumn terracotta and then the black pigment on top. So for this, you just take your ink, and I'm going to actually use the Sunset to fill this in, and you just rub the ink over the top. And then you just wipe it off. And because it's been embossed, it will, it's like a resist, so it will come fairly clean in the areas that you had the embossing powder. And then I just fussy cut these out to make the card, and I stamped the stems and the leaves, as I said, with just the regular inks, the desert sand, and I believe this was olive for that. And then I also used the little swirls from the pumpkin vine as background stamps on the olive, and then also as kind of an accent up here. And this is the baker's twine that I ran the desert sand ink over because I kind of wanted to make it, I didn't like the white on there with the colonial white, it was too stark. So anyway, I hope you give this technique a try. It's a lot of fun, and you can use your stamps in a lot more ways the more techniques you use. If you have any questions, please visit me at my blog at scrapandthread.blogspot.com or leave me a comment here. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.